It's extremely common for high achieving women to fail in relationships because they're focused on the wrong things. Let me be direct. Chemistry and compatibility do not matter if you don't feel deeply seen and heard. Now, I want you to check in and rate your last few relationships on these two questions, 1 to 10 scale. Number 1, did you feel deeply seen and heard by your partner? Number 2, did you feel fulfilled with your life on your own when you met them? Most people miss on these two things, and this is why their relationships fail. In this video, I'll drop the relationship priorities path to help you never fail in relationships again. The relationship priorities path. In every relationship, there are 3 main priorities. Most relationships fail because they focus on number 3, doing all the things in life, the regular life things, before they focus on priority 1 and priority 2. In this video, I'll walk you through what these things are in detail. I'll give you an example, and I'm going to teach you how to build better relationships starting today. Now, this applies to any relationship, friendships, romantic relationships, relationships with your family, any type of relationship. Step 1 in the relationship priorities path is individual alignment. Said very simply, our number 1 job, our core responsibility in any relationship is to show up as our best selves. If we're showing up as our best selves, 10 out of 10, feeling good, from this place, I can love other people very, very hard. If I am not feeling good, if I am not fulfilled with my life, I'm not in my purpose, I'm not taking care of my health, I'm not taking care of my habits, then I can't show up and love anybody hard. Therefore, the most selfless thing we can do in any relationship is put ourselves first so that we can show up as our best self. Now, ultimately, when we show up in relationships, we want to show up from a fulfilled place. We can say alignment, fulfillment, best self, but really at the crux of all of this is showing up in a fulfilled state. When we define fulfillment as a human, let's make this as tangible as possible. Fulfillment means I'm connected to myself. I'm extremely clear on my needs, my desires, and my dreams. And I am aligning my daily actions with my needs, my desires, and my dreams without guilt. These things make me feel like a whole human and fulfilled. Note that within that, I need to feel like I am in my purpose as well to feel fulfilled. Meaning, I need to work on something meaningful every day. I need to feel challenged. I need to feel fulfilled and like I'm in my purpose or moving towards my purpose. These things are necessary for a human to feel fulfilled. Another way I like to think about this is naming my soul vibes, naming the energy that is coming out of me when I am showing up as my best self. And then I make it my mission every day to be in my soul vibes. I literally plan my week. I plan how many meetings I take, the habits that I focus on, my workouts. I plan my whole schedule around showing up in my soul vibe. So it's not just about getting things done. It's about getting things done from my soul vibe. Now let's define what those are. And I want you to noodle on what your soul vibes are. Think about you when you're your youiest you, when you're feeling like you're at your best. Let's say you got enough sleep, you worked out, like you're contributing towards something meaningful at work. You are just feeling good, like life is firing on all cylinders. Let's imagine you at your best. I want you to think about what are the vibes coming out of you? What would other people feel in your presence? For me, my soul vibes are spunky, attentive, loving, compassionate, and curious. So I know when I'm showing up at my best, I am in the moment and other people feel these vibes coming off of me. Now, to summarize, your number 1 responsibility in every relationship is to show up in alignment. You showing up feeling good is the most selfless thing you can possibly do in any relationship. So putting yourself first is actually love. Step 2 on the relationship priorities path is sacred connection. Sacred connection is really the act of being with someone else, being 100% present, all in. I like to call this the practice of love. The whole point of life is to feel fulfilled, which I just covered, and to be in this practice of love, incredibly present, connected with, in the moment with other humans, in deeply seeing and hearing them and allowing them to deeply see and hear us. And so sacred connection is the act of deeply seeing and hearing another human. That means we can't be stuck in our head worrying about the next thing. We can't be worried about getting hurt. We can't be worried about whether they like us. We have to be all in the present moment. The way I like to think about this too, for example, somebody's talking and I am energetically all in. I'm present. I'm calm. I'm very attentive. And because I'm so present, I can process what they're saying without worrying about what I'm going to say next. And then I ask them a question based on what they shared. Then I ask them another question. And so notice it's not ping pong back and forth. It's depth. We start talking about ideas instead of people and events. And so sacred connection is about being all in and connecting energetically and deeply hearing and seeing the other person. Now note, this is at the crux of every healthy relationship, deeply seeing and hearing the other person. This is the core of connecting with another human. Now, it's also important that the other person is interested in this and they have the capacity. We have to prioritize this practice of love, this sacred connection, and also make time for it and space for it. In order to do that, we have to be doing step one first, which is showing up in alignment and putting ourselves first. And also in a relationship, we need this sacred connection in a predictable and consistent way. Again, this is the meat of the relationship. So it's so key that I feel fulfilled and deeply seen and heard, and like I'm getting enough of this sacred connection for the relationship to be healthy. And so if I'm wondering, does that person see me or hear me? Am I going to hear from them? Are we going to hang out this week? If there's this incessant like ick in my body, wondering if it's going to be there or if it's hot and cold, that's not going to be a healthy relationship. Examples of this type of sacred connection is really simple. It's 100% presence. It's being all in. It could be morning coffee for 30 minutes, just connecting with each other on ideas. It could be asking insightful questions, then another question and another question. It could be bedtime connection. What was the highlight of your day? What are you looking forward to tomorrow? Being all in the moment with these conversations. It could also be intimacy, not sex, but like everything leading up to it. This act of being insanely present and all in. Those are examples. Now, where most relationships go wrong is people fall into the groove of step three, doing regular life things. They think to themselves, oh, this relationship is great. We are compatible because we both go to the gym and we meal prep together. We both like pickleball. Or they think, oh, the chemistry is so good. Like, I want this person. I love his or her musk. Chemistry and compatibility don't matter if you don't have step two and step one in place, individual alignment and then sacred connection. Step three is just doing life. Think about more doing versus the being in step two. The doing could look like watching Netflix together, meal prepping, going to the gym. It could be coexisting in a shared space where you're both doing your own thing. It could be running errands. It could be time with other people. Most relationships that I've seen, the ones that I've been in that have failed, and also relationships that my clients have been in, they didn't feel like fulfilled humans coming to the relationship. They weren't aligned as individuals. They would tell me I came into the relationship as like a 6 out of 10 on the fulfillment scale or on the alignment scale. That means you're going to match with someone who is a 6 out of 10. So you're not in a place where you can love hard. And then step two, that sacred connection. You can't love anyone if you're just stuck in your head chasing squirrels and caught in your own stressors and your own wounds, your own attachment styles. You can't love anyone unless you are aligned and you're really prioritizing step two, which is sacred connection. And so clients and myself, I have fallen into the trap of step three of just doing life. And this is where relationships fall to pieces. Really, there's no need in doing step three. Step three is not fun unless one and two are in place. Said differently, when I was married, I was not aligned. I was maybe a 4 out of 10. I was anxious as hell. I was caught up in work. I could work 23 hours out of the day and feel like I was never doing enough. I didn't love myself. I didn't feel worthy. I was just not in a good place. And then got married in that relationship, not connected to myself, didn't know my needs and desires. I was in a bunch of muck individually. Therefore, I couldn't engage in sacred connection. I couldn't be deeply present and in the moment and see and hear my partner in a way that she deserved. And she also couldn't see me because I was caught in my own squirrels, my lack of worthiness, my hustle mentality. I couldn't be loved from that place. Then, by default, we ended up in step three. We were doing all the things together. We were in a shared space, but we weren't really connecting. And I didn't feel seen and heard because she couldn't see and hear me. And she had her own stuff, and I was blocking it with all my own stuff. And so here we are doing life, cooking, cleaning. And when there's this undercurrent of not feeling seen and heard, you tend to fall into what I like to call the snippety snaps. Like you're just kind of at each other, right? There's this undercurrent of like, you're not fucking seeing me. Like I don't feel valued. Like there's so much ick because of our own individual discontent. And we start to throw that discontent at other people. We make passive aggressive comments. We get a little bit snippy and we're just in this number 3 groove, not really enjoying it. And relationships aren't fun. Now, I want to give you another example of how I did this in a relationship where I am actually awake and practicing the relationship priorities path. In my current relationship, my partner took a night shift contract for a few months. She was caught in the night shift muck, meaning it's almost impossible for any human, in my opinion, to show up in an aligned state when working night shift. Your sleep is all off, your nervous system is dysregulated. It's just really hard to show up as your best self when you are not on a regular sleep schedule and dealing with the stress of that kind of job. So she was struggling to show up in individual alignment because of that. And so we didn't really have number 1. And then number 2, sacred connection, the practice of love, that was really difficult because she wasn't at a 10. She was maybe at a 6. And so she had trouble feeling deeply seen and heard because we were in different places. I had trouble feeling deeply seen and heard. We didn't have sacred connection. And then we were still doing number 3, which was regular life stuff. So because we had this model, we could step back and say, hey, are you aligned? Do you need more time to find your individual alignment? Let's take less time with each other. Let's focus on individual alignment first. And then with the time we have left over, which may be a little bit, let's focus on being in that sacred connection, the practice of love. Meaning if we only have an hour here and an hour here, 2 hours of sacred connection for the week, let's set it aside. Let's be all in and let's focus on that. And when it comes to 3, all the life stuff, let's just back off that a little bit for now because that's not as much fun if we don't have 1 and we don't have 2. And so relationships will not be perfect, but when you have a framework and you have alignment on values, i.e. we put ourselves first and it's our responsibility to show up in a feel-good state. When we do that and when we prioritize sacred connection and the practice of love, we have a foundation to build off of, and then we can do regular life things. The key takeaways: individual alignment and the practice of love are the foundation of any healthy relationship. And if you're struggling in a relationship or if you struggled with them in the past, I'll invite you to bring this framework into your new relationship. And also, more importantly, I want you to use this framework now. Prioritize your feel-good state at all costs, because that is love. And with every interaction you have today, I want you to work on being all in and present and love that person so hard with your energy. And if you find that you can't do that because you're not in the feel good state, you don't have the capacity, you don't have the interest, love is also stepping away. Less is more. Work on being all in where your feet are. And being in the practice of this, working on your individual alignment to show up in your fulfilled state, it is so incredibly important. Remember, wherever you are on that fulfillment scale, 1 to 10, that's exactly what you are going to match with. So ask yourself right now, how fulfilled am I on a 1 to 10 scale? Fulfilled meaning you love your life. You're clear on your needs, your desires, your dreams, and you're aligning your daily actions. And you are working on something meaningful. You're moving towards your purpose. You love yourself. You are sturdy on your own. You love your solitude. That's fulfilled. That's a 10. A 1 is the opposite of that. You're a potato on the couch and you hate your life. So rate yourself. And if you find that you are a 6 or a 7 out of 10, your focus is to move up that fulfillment scale. You will always match with other people and opportunities from wherever your set point is right now. And so I highly recommend work on getting up that scale and then matching with people who are in a more fulfilled state. All right, if this video landed with you and you are down to rock out the relationship priorities path, let me know in the comments. And if you want more knowledge and tactics on how to feel more fulfilled and how to build healthier relationships, follow me on Instagram and subscribe to this channel right now. All right, I'm so glad that you're here and I hope that you'll be back soon and I hope you have an amazing day.